Hello everyone, welcome to the channel again. My name is André Cardoso. I hope you had a nice trading session today. For today I want to cover and share with you a couple of stocks, as I promised on my previous video yesterday. I'm here today to share with you a couple of patterns and a couple of price zones that I think it may be important for us to pay attention to, specifically those fractals now under pressure at some of these stocks. Let's start with AMD. Let's keep this on a weekly time frame. Most of the charts that I will show you are on a higher time frame charts. So that being said, I will pay attention to this breakout of the resistance on AMD 79.23. So I believe that a clear breakout of this zone may trigger a more bullish momentum. Of course, we were already expecting that move after the formation of this bullish pattern at 113% Fibonacci extension, and we have default targets for that pattern at the 38% Fibonacci retracement level. So pay attention to more upside momentum for AMD. Bank of America, it has found support at the golden Fibonacci retracement as expected before. So once the price starts to drop and starts to fall, recovering the previous resistance, I posted that chart with that Fibonacci retracement right there at 32.85, expecting at some point the price to find some support at this Fibonacci level. So we can see a few points below the market has found actually probably the 78.6% Fibonacci retracement there, right there, as element of support, and then the price starts to bounce. Pay attention to the previous fractal 38.60, that may trigger a retest of the previous structure support levels and eventually a move to the previous higher highs, if that's the objective. But for now it's a step-by-step process. As you can see, for now we are paying attention to this previous resistance and fractal at 38.60. Let's go to Cisco. I called your attention to this previous fractal support printed at the $50. So this is the next zone kind of for the edge and shoulders, the inverted edge and shoulders pattern formation. We have a new higher high at 50.71. Any move above these previous and recent highs will trigger the pattern. So that means that I will not be surprised to see a move towards those Fibonacci levels projected at 57.45 for the 200% Fibonacci extension level. But we have also a shark pattern projected a few points below at $57. That's correct. So pay attention to moves also above the resistance for Cisco. Disney, a bit different in terms of price action, in terms of patterns. We have a 5-wave structure to the downside. Inside is the descending channel. We have a breakout of the channel. We are now approaching the very first Fibonacci retracement level, at 23% Fibonacci retracement. I admit we are also facing the previous fractal resistance right here. Let me tag this one. So we are threatening the violation of these previous structure highs. One thing guides us to another. A clear violation of this structure may guide us into a retest of the previous highs. Most important than that, a clear violation of this resistance. So I will wait for a clear violation of this fractal, which may trigger a bullish move towards the golden Fibonacci extension, which will confirm also the false breakout below. So we have a new lower low threatening the violation of the previous ones, and then we see an attempt to recover. We need to confirm that false breakout, but that will happen only after the breakout of the resistance between those lows. If the price breaks above, that will increase with the probability of a move to the upside on Disney. It was important at that time, when we saw the breakout of this descending channel. I posted these charts saying there's possible a move to the upside we are now facing the resistance, so this is not the point where to push a trade to the downside, to the upside. This is eBay, very similar situations, a fractal resistance at 50.82. Any move above this pattern, above this fractal, should trigger the edge and shoulders pattern formation. We have default targets for that pattern at $62, so that's a $12 range between the next zone and the default target for that pattern. Ford also threatening the violation of the recent descending momentum, or this descending trend line resistance. We are now facing the same situation that happened on Disney with the breakout of this descending channel. Pay attention also on Ford, because we are now threatening the violation of this recent descending trend line. We have resistance at 1467, and a clear breakout of this resistance should also trigger a move towards the golden Fibonacci extension, projected just a few points above the previous fractal at 1702. General Motors, very much the same, fractal resistance at 4236. We don't have a clear inverted head and shoulders or a clear pattern there. We have what it may be a double bottom. For that to happen, we need to see a clear violation of the fractal resistance at 4236. So we have a double bottom which should be triggered above the resistance, with the breakout of the resistance. I shared also this chart for Google, pointing to these boxes that has been delivered by Google. So we have you have this range for Google. I believe there's a fractal at 102.25 that I believe if the price breaks above, it should trigger another move to the upside. We have the 200% Fibonacci extension projected at 114.11 as a default target for the eventual double bottom, very similar to the previous chart that I show you. And that default target points to the, let's say, to the midpoint, or to the mid range, or to the midpoint of this range. Actually, that's what I want to say. So a retest of this previous data, of this previous box, will not be a surprise, specifically the midpoint of this data, and that's where we have the default target for the double bottom also for Google. So pay attention to this fractal at 102.25. A breakout of that level should trigger the double bottom. This is Intel. We have resistance at 31.34. We have support at 25.35 and 24.59. So this is a double bottom also for Intel. A clear violation of the resistance should trigger that a move to the upside. So we have a limited move to the upside, taking into consideration the double bottom. So we don't have a huge projection above the resistance. Just for you to take an idea, that's 12% projection move above the resistance. So it's not a huge reversal behavior. But this may also trigger the first swing to the upside, taking into consideration this bullish crab pattern completed at the golden Fibonacci retracement level. So that pattern suggests a move to the 38% Fib. We have that Fibonacci level projected at 41.72. So I will not be surprised to see let's say the breakout of this resistance, and I'm drawing here a flag pattern or a triangle, but we don't know if this will extend a little bit in time. We don't know what will happen here, but assuming the recent price structure, I will take into consideration that a violation of the resistance, the fractal resistance at 31.34, will trigger that move at least towards the 200% Fibonacci extension level, which is the default target for the double bottom, but also will trigger the crab pattern move towards the 38% Fibonacci retracement. And that level is a bit different than the 12% above the resistance. So 12% above the resistance, we are talking about 33% above the resistance towards the 38% Fibonacci retracement level. So, and this is Intel. Pay attention to the breakout above the resistance also. This is Juniper. I believe I need to go into a lower time frame. And the Fibonacci level that I want to call your attention to, it's first of all the 50% Fibonacci. It's where the bullish 5-0 sequence will complete. So pay attention to the current price zone for Juniper. We had a bearish shark pattern completed above. I shared that pattern also before. So we have this bearish shark pattern, as we can see, the same strategy or the same insight or the same analysis, let's say, the same technicals here. False breakout below, confirmed by a violation of the resistance. The price has found resistance at the golden Fibonacci level, and that completes the shark pattern. If that pattern completes, we expect a move towards the 50% Fibonacci level, which also forms the bullish 5-0 sequence. So for that reason, there are two Fibonacci levels that I think we may pay attention to at this point for Juniper, which may offer opportunities to the upside. So we have this, actually I think I have this pattern on a higher time frame. Let me just confirm. The weekly time frame, we have that pattern there. Just to keep this time frame. So we have this bearish shark pattern completed at the golden Fibonacci. At that point we expected a retracement back to the 50%. So that completes the bullish 5-0 sequence. So at this point I will not be surprised to see Juniper starting to bounce. Of course, if you want to search for opportunities to go long, you can try the 50% Fibonacci retracement, or you can try to identify this, let's say, a lower time frame event on a lower time frame chart, like a 2 hours time frame. Once the price approaches or enters this range between the 50% and the 61.8, we can try to work on a lower time frame inside this range and try to identify the patterns the market is trying to form on a lower time frame, and then try to take advantage of a breakout of that structure. What I'm saying is, imagine a situation where the price starts to form kind of a wedge pattern formation below, or a triangle, or a flag pattern, or even a parallel channel, and you wait for that channel to unfold, and then you wait for the breakout of that channel. Okay, this is how I think we should approach Juniper at this current price zone. As you can see, we are also facing the previous highs in structure fractal resistance, which is now acting as element of support for Juniper. So pay attention to any bounce from the current price zone for Juniper. Microsoft, again, another example that I think we should pay attention to the fractal. 263.92 fractal resistance, eventual technical double bottom for Microsoft. That pattern also with a very limited projection. Again, we are talking about a projection about surrounding 8-9% above the resistance. But of course, technical double bottom may also trigger larger moves or bigger moves to the upside if that pattern starts to act as a potential reversal. If that pattern acts as a reversal, it should trigger the reversal of this descending channel. For that to happen, we need to see a clear breakout above the channel, and that implies also the breakout above the previous fractal resistance for Microsoft. So technical double bottom, neck at 263.92. I posted also this chart for Nike. the bullish shark pattern completed at 224, a nice initial bounce, and then immediately hunting all those stops positioned below the 224 and forming this inverted edge and shoulders pattern formation. So I believe we are in a nice price zone to search for opportunities to go long. We have the recent highs, 129.39, I guess, and the previous fractal resistance. So this is the range where we can work and search for opportunities for the upside. So this is the price zone we should pay attention for this stock, for Nike, and any rejection to recover the previous next zone, the previous resistance, should be reinforced as a support and with long positions to the upside. So that's my thoughts for Nike. Nvidia, same situation or very similar. That bullish bat pattern remains alive. We can see the price being pushed to the lows, retesting the previous lows, but not invalidating the pattern. So we need to see a clear violation of the lows in order to invalidate that bullish bat pattern for Nvidia. We are already trading the default target zone, so it's not useful anymore. This pattern, it doesn't offer us a nice edge at this point, or a nice risk reward anymore. But that being said, we are also facing the previous fractal and structure resistance and the next zone for the inverted edge and shoulders. Nvidia is also triggering a potential inverted edge and shoulders pattern formation with default targets at 266.37. So that's what I want to see also for Nvidia. Then we have Qualcomm also breaking the recent descending channel. Note that I was tracking the potential edge and shoulders pattern formation. We saw the breakout of these lows. We saw new supports. There's other Fibonacci level that I want to pay attention to if reached. The golden Fibonacci retracement of this last swing low may also offer some pressure. We have that Fibonacci projected at 158.55. We have also kind of a double bottom right there, kind of a technical double bottom, in fact. So we have a broken neck at the 128.20. That double bottom targets the 200% Fibonacci extension, 145, and we have the golden Fibonacci right there synced with the previous, or trying to creating some convergence between the height of the right shoulder, kind of. But let's pay attention also to this golden Fibonacci at 158.55, because it may also offer some pressure as element of resistance. Let's go and talk about STX with a nice pattern completed at 53.70. So we have, I called your attention to this ascending trend line support. Once we approach this trend line, of course, we start to pay attention to this possible element of support. In convergence with the bullish crab pattern completed at 53.70, it did trigger a nice move to the upside, specifically after the recovery or after the breakout of the resistance formed at 58.18, which triggers this momentum to the upside. So we are now approaching the default target zone for that pattern, projected at 74.32. We have also another second target for that pattern at 90.95, the golden ones at the 61.8% Fibonacci retracement level. These may also be the starting point, or the first moves for a bigger move to the upside for Seagate. I'm not sure if that will happen, but I admit a retest of the previous structure highs. Let's check the next one. We have Texas Instruments. We have also a nice structure here for Texas Instruments. We have a pattern already projected at the highs, or at new higher highs, in fact, 210.77. based on the recent price action. But we need to pay attention to, and again, we have this descending structure being threatened by at this point, and we have also the previous fractal resistance. I will point to 185.98. I admit more bullish momentum or eventually a strong move if the price breaks above this resistance. I want to call your attention because the recent price action in the Fibonacci variables presented at this point may also suggest the formation of that bearish crab pattern at the highs. And that pattern, if completed, will also suggest another retracement for to the current price zones. For eventually, let's say, if we see a breakout of this fractal, we may also see a retest of this structure resistance again. That may turn into a support, and that may also offer more moves to the upside. But pay attention to this bearish crab pattern projected above, also for Texas Instrument, or of course step by step, as I said, a violation of the fractal resistance should trigger moves to the upside. And again, just to take an idea, we are talking about a move similar to 13% above the previous resistance. Now let's finish with Visa and Western Digital. Visa, also a nice descending structure, broken, a nice edge and shoulders pattern confirmed with a violation of the resistance. We are now adding to the previous highs, 200% Fibonacci extension level projected at 253.94. So this one already broken the support, as we can see, for Visa, attacking the highs. Western Digital, just to finish, another pattern completed at 88.6, 33.13. That pattern should also target the 38% Fibonacci retracement level. We have also, and let me decrease my time frame just in this case, just to show you the same methodology that I shared with you here before multiple times. We have the previous lows, a bounce, a false breakout of these previous structure supports, and confirmed with, as I said multiple times, confirmed with a violation of or a breakout above the resistance. That being said, don't get surprised with the formation of another bearish crab pattern, or bearish shark pattern, in fact, not the crab, at the golden Fibonacci extension level. So that pattern will complete at 47.90, but it's also important to identify the next step, and the next step is a retracement to the 50%. So we expect the price to start to fall back to the 50%, and that completes the bullish 5-0 sequence. Pay attention to new long positions if the price starts to drop after the formation of this pattern above. So expect the formation, wait for the formation of this bearish shark pattern at 47.90. That should offer a retracement towards the 50% Fibonacci retracement level. And if this Fibonacci, if the price hits this Fibonacci level, this Fibonacci retracement level, that will also complete the bullish 5-0 sequence, which means we must be prepared for more positions to the upside if that happens. That being said, that finishes my introduction today for the stock market. I hope you enjoy and take some useful information from these charts. If you have any doubts, please let me know. I will open, usually I don't open my videos to comments, but I will do that today. I will open the comments to these charts and to this video in order for you to tell me your opinion about these charts, and what do you think about some of these patterns, but also to clarify any doubt that you may have regarding these patterns and or any other chart that you want me to cover, put that in the description or in the comments below. I will have pleasure to check that and to try to provide you with my opinion regarding your issues. So I hope you enjoy. Have the rest of a nice trading day, and I hope to see you here tomorrow. See you there.